school language arts teacher, author of the Lucia Chronicles and the YA sci-fi series, the Lucia Chronicles and the YA sci-fi fantasy series, The Elementals. This is a YA book review for Illuminae. This came out a couple of years ago. The second book in the trilogy, Gemina, has just come out, and that's on my TBR list. I plan on starting that today because it's a rainy day here in Cleveland, and not very fall-like. It's still a little too warm considering that it's almost November and it's supposed to be like 70 a couple days this week, but I digress. So this series is written by two authors, Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and it's science fiction, and it's kind of heavy science fiction. I write science fiction, I think I write like science fiction light, and this is, to me, a little bit heavier science fiction. It took me a long time. This book is long. It's like 599 pages, and it took me a really long time to get into it. Like 362 pages worth to get into it. But even though it's so long, and I know that sounds silly, like who would stick with a book that they're kind of iffy about for 362 pages? But it's because it goes by really quick, because it's a mixed media file book, meaning that it has the stories told through translations or descriptions of security footage, from instant messages, from confidential documents, and things like that. And it's written from multiple perspectives. I did really like Katie and Ezra, which are the two main characters, and the general synopsis is that they live on another planet in an illegal mining colony, and it gets bombed by like a biotech company. And so it's all about you know, and it's also about this haywire artificial intelligence system and how it's trying to save everybody, but by saving everybody, it's kind of killing a lot of people. And so it's about human emotions and what makes humans unique versus artificial intelligence and bio warfare. So there's really a lot going on. What was difficult for me was just keeping everything straight. I'm very OCD, well, not very OCD, but kind of OCD. And so it was really hard for me to keep track of, you know, the different ships, which ship is the good ship, which ship is the bad ship, who's chasing who are these people, who's a good person, who's a bad person, just because there was a lot. The format's pretty cool, but that's part of what gave me some of the trouble in keeping stuff straight. One of my favorite quotes from this book, like here's an example, but one of my favorite quotes from this book, and I haven't seen it around, I've seen the "Am I not merciful" quote around a lot, but my favorite quote was, "And like roses in his hands, death blooms." And I think I want to try and create something with that, although I don't take any calligraphy classes and I'm not real good at calligraphy on my own, but I am kind of artsy, so I think I might try something with that and just see what happens, even just for my own self, because it's just such a beautiful quote and I really don't see it around. So all you people out there with their Redbubble and Society 6 shops, like, can we create a quote, you know, an item with that quote on it? Because I think that would be pretty cool. So I gave this book 3.5 stars. I rounded it up on Goodreads to 4. I'm not sure if it's my thing or not. I'm not sure if my OCD can handle the mixed media. I really like Katie and Ezra, but then I found out that they're like secondary characters in the next book, and each set of books in the trilogy has a male-female protagonist as that changes. So I know that Katie and Ezra are still in it, but we'll see, because I don't know how I feel about that. So stay tuned for a YA book review on Gemina. In the meanwhile, happy reading and happy writing.